there was just something not right about this game. Was it the defense? No, that wasn't it. The power play? No, that wasn't it either. The forward lines? No, I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh yeah, losing in a shootout in the playoffs! The Washington Capitals lose 4-3 against the Tampa Bay Lightning, but let's be real, they didn't lose 4-3, they lost 3-2 because there's a shootout for some reason I still can't figure out. And I get it, it's not a playoff series, it's not a best of 5 qualifier, it's not a best of 7 actual first, second, or third round, or fourth round playoff series. It's just a round robin and it's just to determine seeding, but there's just something not right about losing in a shootout in the playoffs. I mean, it is August for Gordie Howe's sake. I can't fathom a shootout ending a game this late into the year. But that is the NHL for you, and I guess with all the success they've had with the bubble and these playoffs this year, they had to have some fault, and hindsight is 2020, but there just isn't something right about a shootout ending a game of this caliber. I mean, this was a good game. The Tampa Bay Lightning played well, then the Washington Capitals played well, we went to overtime, and you felt that buildup of a playoff series where it's overtime, sudden death, any second, any time, a goal could be scored and the other team could be sent packing. But for whatever reason, that climactic ending, that meaningful, purposeful ending just felt taken away from us. I have to remind myself, it's just a round robin series. And I know I say just a round robin series, it does have meaning, but it's just for seeding. We don't even know who we're going to play, whether we're 1 or 4. So at the end of the day, it's really not that big of a deal. But enough dancing around, let's get to the game. The Caps come into the game, let's say flat-footed. Reardon puts out the top line to start the game, then immediately goes to the third line, then the fourth line, and then he puts the second line out there. And that was a telltale sign of how this game was going to go for the second line. Woo! Wait, but not even just the second line. The entire team had a tough time, especially the defense at the start of the game. Puck is dropped and the game kind of looks good. Vrana has a takeaway and he has a chance on net and things are starting to feel okay. It's like, hey, let's get into this game and let's start getting some chances. The top line comes out swinging with some big hits. The fourth line has some good movement and some big hits, and you felt like it was gonna be a solid, physical game like it should be. But as quickly as that good feeling came into the game, it was taken away. Eller gets a little too cute with the puck at center ice. He gives it away. Here comes Kucherov into the zone. He beats Kempny, shot on net. It's 1-0 Tampa that fast. And I can't take this away from Kucherov. That was a sick shot. I mean, he just sniped a corner on Holtby, and you could sit there all day and say, Holtby should have had that, but it was a great shot by a great goal scorer. 1-0 Tampa, and we move on. And skate away they did. Well, the Tampa Bay Lightning did at least. They skated around the Washington Capitals for the next 20 minutes like they were a peewee hockey team. I just don't understand the logic behind giving Radko Gudas a nod as opposed to Alexiev or Farivari. John Carlson is out for precautionary reasons. He goes down awkwardly into the boards in the last game and Reardon says, hey look, you're our top defender and we need you for the next 2 months, so let's not take any chances. But as opposed to going to a black ace like Farivari or Alexiev, he goes to Radko Gudas, who has shown no reason why he needs to be on this team. I mean, the dude looks scary, but that's about it. He's giving away the puck, he's making bad plays behind the net, he's falling over, he had maybe a block shot or two at a critical time in the game. But outside of that, what's the point of having him? I don't know, maybe I'm being too hard on the guy. I really would have liked to see one of the young Hershey players step up in this game and make an impact as opposed to Radko Gudas, who really hasn't done anything for the past 5 months. And that's 5 playing months, not 5 actual months because, you know, pandemic. Alright, I'm just rambling at this point. Moving on. Caps are skating 4-on-4 against Tampa, and well, Sergachev has a rolling pick, so he gets called for interference. Caps go 4-on-3. And we get really excited because that's a lot of open ice, and we have a lot of talented players on this team. This should be a goal easily. Then I look at the players on the ice and the 1, 2, 3, there's 4 forwards on the ice. We don't have a D-man. Well, that's right, Carlson's out. So I guess Reardon decided, hey, Kovalchuk, you can sit at the point because you're kind of like a D-man. But it might turn out to be okay because there's a bad change by Tampa in their own zone. Covey skates up, he has a sweet pass over to Ovechkin, and instead he takes the shot. Okay, you remember last video when I told Kovalchuk, hey, we're not paying you to pass the puck, we're paying you to shoot the puck? Well, this is a time to pass the puck. You got Ovechkin in his office, wide open, waiting for the one-timer, stick up here, ready to go. And Kovalchuk's like, there's no screen in front of Vasilevsky, so I'm just gonna shoot it right at him and let him save the puck. Easy save. These are the things that have to be worked out before we move any further into this postseason. Kovalchuk has to find his place on this team. He's done okay on the third line, but he really hasn't had any significant impact. Do something. You have to play a solid two-way game in the NHL these days to be any sort of impact on any team. Ovechkin figured it out a few years ago, and what happened? We won the Stanley Cup. If Kovalchuk doesn't figure this out right now, he's going to be no use to this team, and we are going to get knocked out in the first round, and he is going to go bye-bye. But I really think if Kovalchuk can just accept the fact that he has to play a different type of game right now in the NHL, he could do so much. Obviously, Reardon put some faith in him, putting him out there for the 4-on-3 with no defender, acting as the point man. So he has some value that he can contribute. He just really has to embrace the mentality of a new forward. But anyway, that power play goes down the drain and the period ends 1-0 Tampa. Period 2. Huge hit by Wilson 18 seconds into the period, and here comes a power play for the Caps. And there goes a power play for the Caps. No shot on that power play, moving on. But after the power play, we get a little bit of pressure and Eller all in front, all alone, and he snaps his stick shooting the puck. And that's just the way this game went for Eller. He had a tough time. His line, I felt, had a lot of chances, but he just wasn't able to make the play that he normally does. But also you have to give props to Tampa Bay at this point. They've been getting back into their zone very quickly, able to snuff out any attempt that the Caps have been making, and that's a strong point for Lars Eller, his transition game. So if you're playing against a team that can really snuff out your transition, it really just nullifies anything that you're able to do. And the hits just kept on coming. Braden Holtby is getting peppered with shots at this point. And I mean, props to Holtby because he is stopping all of them. He is right where he should be, making all the easy saves and making a lot of difficult saves on top of that. And even when the third line does finally get a solid chance, Vasilevsky is there to make the save. He was on point, you can't deny it. But then, everything changed for the Washington Capitals. Tom Wilson gets in a... What? Not Wilson? It was... Who? Oshie? TJ Oshie got in a fight! And that was actually a pretty good fight. I think he took an uppercut at one point, but man, he was giving it to him. It's like, come here! And that moment, with 5 minutes left in the second period, that was the moment that everything changed. That was the thing that the Capitals needed to get moving and to start playing hockey. Oshie's sitting in the box for 5 minutes for fighting, so what does Reardon do? He has to change up his lines. And change up his lines he did. He moves Panik up to the third line, Kovalchuk up to the second line, and that is what did it for the Caps. Puck drops after the fight, first line is out there, they do okay, they get a chance, they get some hits. Braden Holtby is peppered with some hits. He's up to the task, he makes all the saves. Then, the new third line is sent out. Eller is centering Hagelin and Panik. And I don't know what happened, but Eller all of a sudden decides he wants to make a play. Eller's able to strip the puck away on the half wall. He sends it back to the point. Orlov takes the shot on net. Vasilevsky, glove save, but he doesn't hold on to it. The puck is laying right on the line. And here comes Panik flying in, smacks the puck in. It's a goal for Washington. 2-1, Caps are on the board. And the Caps don't let up. Line after line, shift after shift, it's pressure on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pucks are getting deep into their zone. Pressure is being sustained. Pucks are circulating like they should. Getting back to the point. Shots on net. Creating havoc for Vasilevsky. The fourth line is doing a great job of getting the puck into the corners, cycling it around, and getting in front of Vasilevsky. And look, they drew a penalty. It's a power play for the Caps. And this is the kind of power play we're used to seeing from the Caps. It's not Carlson at the point, it's Orlov instead. But everything else looks just like we want. Great entry into the zone, Smart puck movement to relieve the pressure off to the open man. Puck gets to the point, Orlov shot on net, Vasilevsky bounces off his body, he can't handle it. Kuznetsov right in front of the rebound, he smacks at it. Boom, he smacks it in, goal! 2-2, Caps tie it up. And that's how we go into the second intermission. The Caps are starting to look great. The last 5 minutes of the second period is how they need to look forever.
Forever.
At the end of this period, shots on net are almost tied. Faceoffs are almost tied. The Caps are severely out-hitting the Tampa Bay Lightning at this point, and the Caps have played a perfect game when it comes to penalties, which is just great to see after last game. Last game, penalties were like the Wells Fargo wagon coming into town to deliver instruments to all the kids. Here you go, little Tommy. Gee, thanks, Professor. 2 minutes for high sticking just for me. But now, the Caps are playing disciplined hockey. They were slightly tentative at the start of the game. Not fully hitting guys, not really getting their feet moving underneath them, and I'm sure it's because they were scared to take penalties. Reardon had to have said something to them after last game about their penalty taking, and that really resonated with them. So they're saying, okay, as opposed to taking penalties, we're just not gonna move our feet, and it burned them in the first half of the game. But now, they're not taking penalties, and they're skating like they should. But anyway, we still have a whole nother period to go. Period 3. The period starts and it's 2-on-1, Ovechkin and Wilson. Wilson over to Ovechkin. Oh, he's so close, he just misses. And here comes another chance on the Russian. That's who? Dylan. Dylan takes a shot and oh, he just misses. And Dylan skates off shaking his head like, shoulda had it, shoulda had it. It's all right, man, that was a great chance and you're gonna get some more. And at this point, it's everyone giving pressure. The defense, the first line, the third line, the fourth line, but the second line is still having trouble. They just, for whatever reason, could not get sustained zone pressure. It was dump the puck in, chase it, but as soon as they get into the zone, they're giving up the puck and the puck's moving the other way on them. You have a line Backstrom centering Oshie and Vrana. 3 big playmakers and 3 big goal scorers for the team. This is a line that can do some serious damage. They just gotta really find their tone. And good things I started to see from them at the later half of the third period. But you can't play a 10-minute game, boys. You gotta play 60 minutes. But whew, talk about the fourth line. This is where the fourth line started to shine. Every shift that they're out there, they're getting a chance on net. They're drilling the defense into the corner and creating chances, sustained pressure. The fourth line rocked it this game. And here comes the first line with a chance. Kuznetsov rips the puck away from Kucherov, down to Ovechkin in front. Oh, it's another scoring chance, so close. Whew. Play-by-play calls with Kuznetsov, Kucherov, and Ovechkin in the same sentence. That's a little difficult. Late in the game, Hagelin's showing off his speed. He races after the puck and washes out an icing. And once again, here comes the fourth line, pounding on their defenders and creating chances in front. And then here comes Kempny, driving down the middle. He's got Ovechkin in his office, waiting for the puck, and Kempny decides to shoot it? Ah, whatever, you've earned it. You shoot that puck. And this was the theme for the rest of regulation. Chance after chance, line after line, defense rushing up with the forwards, creating havoc around Vasilevsky. It felt like it should have felt 30 minutes prior. But regulation ends 2-2, and so we are moving to overtime. And the Caps didn't let up in overtime. 3-on-3 overtime, and it is chance after chance, shift after shift, line after line. The Caps made the Tampa Bay Lightning skate on their heads. Skate on their heads? You know what I mean. It felt like every shift in 3-on-3 was either a breakaway or a 2-on-1 or some sort of chance happening right in front of Vasilevsky. And at this point, I'm getting excited. I'm thinking, oh, we are just demolishing them right now. It's gonna go in any second. And then we're just bombarding them with pressure and line after line and shift after shift, and then the whistle blows and overtime is over. Well, that was a fast overtime. What's going on? Well, that's because it's the regular season and it's 5 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime. And despite a late penalty against Tampa with 8 seconds left in overtime, we go to a shootout and the rest is history. Oshie shows off his Olympic-style shootout skills, but the Caps end up losing at the shootout 4-3. Turns out the Caps do actually get a point for losing in the shootout, because apparently round-robin points matter. But it just doesn't feel right. I felt dirty after watching this game. I felt like I just wasn't in the right place. But then again, no one's in the right place. We're playing hockey in August. I can't even tell you the last time that happened. The players are playing from a bubble. The announcers are doing play-by-play over Zoom calls. Which is actually pretty funny because you can tell how technologically illiterate Craig Laughlin is. Love you, Craig. But what else can I say about this game? The Caps started off slow, slowly got their feet moving, and ended up ending the game playing some awesome hockey. And if that 4-3 shootout loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning is all it takes for the Washington Capitals to figure out how to win in these playoffs, I'll take that any day of the week. But what do I know? I'm just a fan. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up button. And if you enjoyed your time here, consider subscribing. I'd love to see you come back. And as always, let's go Caps!